Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel, The Primordial Law. Volume 5, Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 14 451 The Phoenix Blood Tree. 14th of Volume 5. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Being assigned to guard the city gate. Is this what powerhouses do? Everyone else is inside the city, grabbing treasures, resources, and essence herbs, while we get nothing. They're all feasting on the meat, while we Wangzhong faction members stand here like fools. I bet they're bullying you because you're such a pushover, you honest demon. The water beaver immortal roared in anger. Crown Prince Ba was equally furious. Don't bare your teeth at me. Guarding the east city gate was Princess Dengfeng's order. So what about the princess? What are you so afraid of? Why don't you dare fight her? The water beaver immortal retorted. The two demons stomped into the mountain of corpses, resentment etched across their faces. What's going on, you two? Why did the battle suddenly start? Li Wei asked, stepping forward. Crown Prince Ba replied, the Rice Palace and Lingxiao twin Rice sect forces launched the first attack, breaching the North City Gate. Now all factions are converging there. We need to move out immediately. The Wangzhong faction's demonic beast contingent numbered only about 100, each carefully selected for this mission. Whoosh. Li Wei stood atop the skull of a colossal serpent skeleton, using it as his mount. Psychic power spiritual light erupted from him, each strand a shimmering thread controlling over 100 powerful corpse puppets. The massive procession surged toward Old Yuzhou Prefecture City. This, however, served to enhance the prestige of the Wangzhong faction's demon clan. When Li Wei, Water Beaver Immortal, and Crown Prince Ba arrived at the moat outside the East City Gate, Princess Dengfeng had already breached the gate. A 100-meter-long gap had been torn in the city wall, with rubble scattered across the ground. At the breach, dead spirits and yin ghosts continuously poured out, riding black mist and smoky clouds as they fled. They were intercepted by Li Wei's corpse puppet army and the Wangzhong faction's demonic beasts. Princess Dengfeng had issued a death order, leave no survivors, kill them all. Yang Qingqian joined the fray, absorbing soul nourishment. Yang Qingxi stood atop the giant serpent skeleton, sword in hand, positioned behind Li Wei, resembling a stunningly beautiful green-robed sword attendant. Li Wei, holding Yuer's hand, opened his heavenly eye between his brows. He observed the chaotic and intense battle within the city, then gazed into the endless darkness beyond the walls, detecting the fluctuating auras of numerous human martial mystic cultivators. Some were within the city, others outside. A Zhu tribe priest appeared, an elderly man in his 70s or 80s, with snow-white hair, clutching a clay soul bottle as he soared along the city wall. Each time he hurled the bottle, he captured hundreds of ghosts. An elder from the Thundercloud sect also materialized, unleashing thunder method techniques to clash with Diak spirit powerhouses, their electric arcs blindingly bright. The human clan cultivators from the Lingxiao realm dared to participate in this conflict, emboldened by the support of the Zhenhai Guanwu and Yuyaozi. They were confident that the old powerhouses of the East Sea Demon clan and the dead spirits, those above the great immortal realm, had all gone into hiding, leaving them feeling invincible. Meanwhile, the immortal realm giants from various factions had already converged in an unknown realm, forming alliances and engaging in fierce battles. The water beaver immortal, perched atop a white bone puppet, watched anxiously, scratching his ears and cheeks, desperate to enter the city and seize its treasures. He began to grumble sarcastically, you said you'd help Lu Kangsheng capture some dead spirits with immortal corpse bodies. Now look at us, we can't even get into the city. Fine, let's just hunt ghosts here, then. Damn it, we won't get a single reward. Li Wei replied, actually, I believe Her Highness wouldn't assign you two to a meaningless task. Why else would she order the extermination of all dead spirits fleeing the city? What do you mean? Crown Prince Ba and the Water Beaver Immortal asked in unison. Li Wei explained, I suspect that if the dead spirits inside the city knew they couldn't hold it, they might preemptively pack the resources and treasures into boundary pouches, harvest the fruits, and then escape during the chaos. The western route is only a few thousand miles from the East Sea, making it easily intercepted by demon clan powerhouses. The East City Gate offers the highest chance of escape. Once they break through, they can head straight east, deep into the Netherworld, where no one would dare pursue them. Look at that 100-meter gap in the city wall. I suspect Her Highness the Princess deliberately blasted it open. Hearing Li Wei's analysis, Crown Prince Ba's spirits soared, and his gaze toward Water Beaver Immortal lost its timidity. Lu Kangsheng speaks with reason. Her Highness the Princess must have entrusted this crucial interception mission to her most trusted demon, that's me, Crown Prince Ba. Cousin, you only know how to complain. You can't possibly grasp Her Highness's profound intentions. And you suddenly understand them now. Water Beaver Immortal retorted, speechless. Crown Prince Ba declared, the facts are right before our eyes. No explanation is needed. Huang River demons, rally your spirits. Don't let a single dead spirit escape. The first dead spirit powerhouse revealed itself. It had been hiding among a horde of dead spirit fiends near the moat. When 7 skeletal puppets intercepted them, it was forced to expose its cultivation level and brute force its way through. Awoo. It was a 4-armed fallen spirit commander with 2 disheveled heads and an eye in the palm of each hand. Each eye unleashed a different power, shattering the 7 skeletal puppets into bone dust. East Sea Demon Clan, remember this day's annihilation of your city. This old man will repay you sooner or later. The 4-armed, 4-eyed commander transformed into a swirling mass of dark green yin mist, soaring skyward and fleeing at breakneck speed. Its strength is formidable, comparable to a martial mystic cultivator in the 8th layer of the Dao Seed realm. It must be carrying a boundary pouch. I'll pursue it. The water beaver immortal, brimming with enthusiasm, restrained Crown Prince Ba, who was about to give chase, and stepped onto a crimson mist, surging after the fleeing commander. Li Wei glanced at second phoenix nestled in his sleeve but made no move to follow. Having sensed the scent of the phoenix blood tree leaf, second phoenix could detect any dead spirit that had recently come into contact with the phoenix blood tree. It was impossible for an immortal realm Diak spirit to carry away the phoenix blood tree. If an immortal realm dead spirit had taken the phoenix blood tree, how could the demon clan possibly let it live? Clang. A blood-red greatsword, over 10 meters long, shot from a breach in the city wall, sliced through the moat, and cleared a path through the skeletal puppets controlled by Li Wei. It then hurtled into the night sky. A ghost shadow clad in gray robes stood atop the massive crimson sword. This Yin Ghost commander is renowned throughout Yu State, considered one of the top powerhouses below the immortal realm. Any treasures it possesses must be extraordinary. I'll pursue it, Crown Prince Ba declared, vanishing into the earth with earth evasion. Li Wei, using his heavenly eye, surveyed the thick layers of ghostly clouds and black mist engulfing the city. He carried Yuer on his back and transmitted a message to Yang Qingxi and Yang Qingchen. 2 dead spirit powerhouses lingered near the breach in the city wall for a long time, engaged in secret discussions. They likely deliberately lured away the water beaver immortal and Crown Prince Ba. If you encounter any fallen spirit commanders who aren't too powerful but are exceptionally fast, intercept them. You might find unexpected rewards. Whoosh. A house-sized sphere of gray mist, like a phantom orb, burst through the breach in the city wall, carrying a violent hurricane in its wake. 3 demon clan powerhouses from the Wangjiang faction immediately launched their spiritual artifacts to intercept it. Boom. 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 The 3 spiritual artifacts and the 3 demon clan powerhouses were all sent flying. Strangely, with a single collision, all 3 demon clan powerhouses lost their blood chi. Upon landing, they withered into 3 desiccated corpses. There's a faint aura of the phoenix blood tree, or Feng, second phoenix, transmitted to Li Wei. Li Wei had already affixed the divine swiftness talisman to his body. Activating it, he erupted into a blinding speed, wielding the myriad manifestation staff spear as he gave chase. The spherical gray mist fled the city and swiftly burrowed underground, vanishing from sight. Li Wei locked onto it with his psychic power, tracking it from the surface. Channeling the Earth's yin qi through the myriad manifestation staff spear, he launched attacks through the layers of soil, striking at the depths below. The pursuit stretched for hundreds of miles. Far beyond the old Yuzhou prefecture city, the gray mist underground finally reached its breaking point. With your meager cultivation, you dare pursue this venerable one. The spherical mist dispersed, revealing a towering corpse clan commander over 3 meters tall. Resembling a colossal ape, its body was covered in gray corpse fur, and its mouth bristled with jagged, saw-like fangs. Its speed was astonishing. In a blur, a fist the size of a human head, reeking of decaying corpse chi, slammed into Li Wei. A veteran of countless battles, Li Wei had long since activated the defensive scriptures of his blood handprint demon armor and governor's official robe. He instantly unleashed the Fusong divine tree spiritual light in his Dao heart manifestation. Boom. Boom. The gray corpse ape's punch shattered the Fusong divine tree spiritual light, Dao heart manifestation, blood mist scriptures, and protective spiritual chi, colliding violently with Li Wei's myriad manifestation staff spear, which he had raised to block. Li Wei was sent flying backward like a cannonball, crashing dozens of meters away and leaving a crater over a meter deep in the ground. Incredible speed and astonishing power, he muttered, steadying himself. The moment he regained his footing, Li Wei retrieved the immortal corpse from his boundary pouch, slashed his wrist, and splashed blood onto it. As the gray corpse ape charged again, the immortal corpse's eyes snapped open. It surged forward like lightning, flanking Li Wei on either side to meet the attack. Boom. 2 colossal arms erupted from the swirling gray mist, relentlessly driving Li Wei and the immortal corpse backward. Each retreating step left deep imprints in the ground. Heart-cleansing evil shattering, J. Li Wei roared, unleashing a burst of crimson gold psychic power spiritual light that surged into the gray mist. The gray corpse ape's eyes froze momentarily. Seizing the opportunity, Li Wei soared into the air and slammed the purple heaven thunder seal downward with overwhelming force. Roar. The gray corpse ape instantly regained its senses, spewing forth a torrent of corpse chi from its mouth as it swung its fist to meet the purple heaven thunder seal head-on. Thunder roared, and the collision echoed like metal striking stone, sending shockwaves that rippled outward from the ape's feet, causing the ground beneath it to buckle and crack. The ape's entire body was engulfed in crackling lightning. Boom! Seizing the opportunity, the immortal corpse unleashed a four-colored palm strike, slamming it heavily into the gray corpse ape's chest. The ape was sent flying over 100 meters, crashing into the side of a mountain. The immortal corpse's combat prowess rivaled that of a ninth heaven Dao Seed Realm martial mystic cultivator. With Li Weiyi's support, their combined attack formation, and heavy artifacts, they could even challenge someone like Changji Daozi. However, the immortal corpse's stamina was limited, and maintaining it drained Li Weiyi's blood rapidly. Inside the mountain, the gray corpse ape roared in fury. Gray corpse chi surged from its body, causing massive sections of the mountain to collapse, sending boulders tumbling down. Not even a serious injury. Knowing the ape's terrifying speed, Li Weiyi kept his eyes fixed on the collapsing mountain. He released the Little Seven, planted the myriad manifestations staff spear into the ground, and activated the spirit realm, inscribing formation scriptures to activate the sun, moon, and stars combined attack formation. Whoosh! The gray corpse ape burst from the earth, soaring into the sky with crimson eyes and a swirling blood mist around its body. It dove downward, unleashing two palm strikes that manifested as clouds of scriptures, colliding with the sun, moon, and stars grand formation made by Li Weiyi. The formation's formation plate and starlight-etched patterns blocked the ape's palm strikes. On the hand struck by the purple heaven thunder seal, the ape's flesh and fur had completely vanished, revealing gleaming golden bones. This corpse was no ordinary immortal realm demon ape. Of course, no matter how powerful it had been in life, it was now merely a corpse inhabited by a nascent spirit, its physical strength greatly diminished. With a thunderous boom, the ground within a dozen meters of Li Weiyi sank abruptly. At that very moment, a bone-chilling sense of danger struck Li Weiyi from an indiscernible direction. Before him, a purple mist light cluster materialized. PFF'd. From within the cluster, a calligraphy brush shot forth, piercing Li Weiyi's chest. It was too fast. The attacker's cultivation was extraordinarily high, their speed surpassing even the gray corpse apes. This was a spatial ambush, timed with deadly precision. Crack! Li Weiyi's ribs snapped, his internal organs cracked, and he was sent flying, blood gushing from his mouth and nose. The bronze brush had been aimed at his heart, but he had narrowly avoided the fatal blow. The blood handprint demon armor and governor's official robe he wore had prevented the brush from piercing his body completely. Any other Dao Seed Realm martial mystic cultivator would have died instantly. Master. Yuer wailed, her voice breaking with grief. She had also been thrown violently to the ground. The formation plate of the combined attack formation shattered, and the Little Seven were slammed into the earth by the gray corpse ape's palm strikes. Fu Wenyan emerged from the purple mist light cluster, clad in the governor's official robe. He held the prefectural governor's official seal in one hand, while twirling the bronze brush in the other. He glanced at the critically injured Li Weiyi. How can the hunter know when he himself has become the prey? Roar! A white mist dragon soul erupted from the embroidered patch on Fu Wenyan's robe, sending the gray corpse ape flying. The governor's official robe truly lives up to its reputation. Fu Wenyan sneered, you haven't even condensed your Dao fruit yet. Your spiritual chi is too weak to summon such a powerful dragon soul. Fu Wenyan's governor's official robe and official seal had been stripped from a fallen mist shadow army soldier in Lingxiao City. With these treasures, he had repeatedly escaped from dangerous situations, snatching victory from the jaws of death. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5, Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 15 452 Earth Book. 15th of Volume 5. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. After a brief moment of numbness, excruciating pain surged through Li Weiyi's body like a tidal wave. His chest and internal organs felt as if they were on fire, the injuries severe. Fortunately, he had refined 70% of the immortal soil, strengthening his muscles and organs to 70% of the immortal body's resilience. Otherwise, his organs would have been shattered by the bronze brush's explosive force, rather than merely cracked. Li Weiyi felt as if his body had been pierced through. His vision darkened, and his spiritual chi churned into chaos, yet he refused to yield. The instant he crashed to the ground, he used his indomitable willpower to maintain his mental connection with the immortal corpse. Dozens of meters away, the immortal corpse erupted in four-colored radiance, launching itself at Fu Wenyan like an arrow loosed from its bow, denying the enemy any chance to press their advantage. It was a desperate bid for precious seconds of life. With his spiritual chi in disarray and his limbs nearly drained of strength, Li Weiyi immediately channeled liquid mana and clear radiance immortal haze from his divine gate, forcing them to surge along the 12 meridian veins. These meridian veins, extending from the divine gate, connected to his 5 viscera and 6 bowels, as well as the 100 wisdoms point at the crown of his head. At this critical moment, they proved invaluable. They shielded his damaged organs, stabilizing the cracks like an inner layer of armor. In the first breath after the ambush, Li Wei, with extraordinary willpower and lightning-fast reflexes, managed to stabilize his injuries, roll to his feet, and prepare to counterattack. The spirit realm between his eyebrows and his psychic power remained unaffected by the chest wound. He formed a hand seal, activating the movement secret incantation. Blinding flames erupted around him as he flickered away, creating distance between himself and Fu Wenyan. He then affixed a divine speed talisman to his body and fled at breakneck speed. Behind him, Fu Wenyan simultaneously battled the immortal corpse and used his willpower to control a 100-meter-long white mist dragon soul, restraining the gray corpse ape and preventing its escape. He knew the gray corpse ape likely carried a wealth of resources. He wanted it all. The gray corpse ape possessed formidable combat strength and extreme speed, rivaling experts at the peak of the 9th heaven of the Dao Seed realm. Only inheritors of the 9th heaven could truly surpass it. Dividing his attention between two opponents, Fu Wenyan still managed to track Li Wei's rapid escape. He called out, "Brother Li, you're the most intriguing person I've encountered in the Lingxiao realm. Why are you in such a hurry?" His official robe remained spotless, his hair neatly arranged, and his jade-like face radiated vitality. A calm, refined elegance permeated his demeanor. The bronze brush in his hand manifested over 9,000 scripture characters. Powerful energy ripples spread outward in concentric circles. Whoosh! The writing brush transformed into a 7-foot-long staff. With a graceful, sweeping motion, Fu Wenyan sent the immortal corpse, a martial mystic cultivator with the combat prowess of the 9th heaven of the Dao Seed realm, flying backward, severing its psychic connection with Li Wei. The immortal corpse crashed to the ground, its chi completely dissipated. Though the strike appeared effortless, it was executed with full force, imbued with the profound mysteries of Dao techniques. Fu Wenyan never underestimated his opponents. Li Wei had already fled 2 miles away. Fu Wenyan glanced at the gray corpse ape in the opposite direction but remained rooted to the spot, choosing not to pursue Li Wei. Instead, he unleashed his Dao heart manifestation. Instantly, the spiritual chi and the scripture within his Dao fruit surged past Li Wei, enveloping him within Fu Wenyan's domain. As Li Wei fled, he rapidly circulated his spiritual chi, desperate to restore his martial mystic Dao combat power. Psychic power alone would never allow him to escape Fu Wenyan's grasp. Yuer, ever sensible, understood the dire situation. Tears welled in her eyes, but she clamped her mouth shut, refusing to cry for fear of distracting her master. What a formidable Dao heart manifestation. Though Fu Wenyan is only at the 8th heaven, his combat power rivals even the strongest beneath the Lingxiao and immortal realms. A young celestial emperor who has cultivated to this level is virtually unmatched below the immortal realm. No wonder even an immortal realm great power like Yao Qian couldn't subdue him. 10 zhang ahead of Li Wei, the flowing spiritual chi condensed into a massive scripture. The gaseous scripture, hundreds of zhang tall, rose like a towering wall. Each azure character danced across its pages, resembling a vast, azure sky pressing down upon him, unleashing a cataclysmic surge of spiritual chi. With no escape, Li Wei plunged the myriad manifestations staff spear into the ground, drawing forth tendrils of yin qi from the earth to coil around his body. In the nether realm of the dead, the yin qi was particularly dense. Boom! The gaseous scripture's pages flipped down like a book, sending earth and shattered stones flying. Fu Wenyan watched from afar, observing Li Wei being blasted backward by the scripture's Dao technique. Only then did he finally feel the reassuring certainty that everything was under control. The attack had clearly dealt Li Wei a severe blow. With his spiritual chi now needed to protect his injuries, Li Wei's chances of escaping Fu Wenyan's grasp using only his psychic power as a 6-star spiritual master were as delusional as chasing a mirage. Truly extraordinary, Fu Wenyan mused inwardly, to withstand such a strike and not only survive but also quickly mobilize his spiritual chi to protect his injuries and attempt an escape. Fu Wenyan secretly admired Li Wei's resilience, but this only strengthened his resolve to eliminate him today. Brother Li, why are you in such a sorry state? Come back. Are you abandoning your 7 rare insects to flee alone? Escape. How could you possibly escape? Fu Wenyan waved his 9th rank 1000-character artifact, the bronze brush, through the air. Its white bristles transformed into a long, eastward flowing river, stretching hundreds of meters to engulf Li Wei. These bristles were forged from the hair of transcendence, as fine as spider silk yet as sharp as blades. Boundless and endless, they sealed off every escape route for Li Wei. The countless bristles converged inward, like 1,000 cuts and 10,000 slices, threatening to tear him to shreds. Whoosh! The governor's robe on Li Wei's body erupted with a purple radiance. Spatial ripples emanated outward, and his figure vanished into a swirling cloud of violet mist. Fu Wenyan let out a soft hum, surprised that Li Wei could still mobilize such a vast amount of spiritual qi to activate the governor's robe under these circumstances. Even more unexpected was what followed. Though seemingly drained of combat power, Li Wei didn't use the governor's robe to flee far away. After breaking free from the bronze brush's deadly encirclement, he landed 100 meters away, his gaze sharpening as he stared back. A pair of blood-soaked hands pressed against the yellow-brown ground. From the center of Li Wei's forehead, ripples of light emanated, and the luminous silhouette of the Fusong divine tree rose behind him. With a thunderous roar, he chanted, Lin. The blood that had splattered from his mouth and nose onto the ground transformed into a crimson mist, wisps rising and merging with his psychic radiance. The surrounding several miles turned a ghastly scarlet, tinged with an eerie illusion. Whoosh! Rotting skeletal arms erupted from the earth. A dense swarm of corpses crawled out of the ground. Even the immortal corpse rose again, charging toward Fu Wenyan. Li Wei's spiritual qi had resumed its circulation. Liquid qi from his divine gate flowed through his 12 meridian veins, protecting his injuries. Meanwhile, the Wind Mansion's spiritual qi coursed through his 108 meridian veins, sustaining his martial mystic Dao combat prowess. Even if he had to flee, he couldn't abandon the 7 little ones. As for the cloak imbued with the dragon-headed camel strike, Li Wei had no intention of wasting it on Fu Wenyan. That was his final trump card, reserved for situations where escape was impossible. Fu Wenyan wasn't yet strong enough to trap him completely. Li Wei activated the cicada chase step, his body blurring into a wisp of green smoke as he darted across the battlefield, swiftly gathering the weakened 7 little ones into his insect pouch. Despite their 5th heaven Dao seed realm cultivation, the 7 little ones had taken a direct hit from the gray corpse ape. Even with their formidable defenses, they had sustained injuries. Boom! Boom! Fu Wenyan swung his bronze brush, sending the relentless corpses flying. He then unleashed the prefectural governor's official seal. Whoosh! The official seal transformed into a massive, square white seal, radiating overwhelming power. The air seemed to thicken, crushing all the corpses into dust. The seal then coalesced into a thick, white beam of light, carrying a frigid wind, and shot toward Li Wei, who had just collected the 7 little ones. Sensing the imminent danger, Li Wei had no time to evade. He immediately summoned the Purple Heaven Thunder Seal, which he had already activated. The Thunder and Lightning Seal, several meters in diameter, materialized before him like a shield, colliding violently with the prefectural governor's official seal. Sizzle. Crack. The impact sounded like 2 colossal metal mountains colliding, instantly shattering eardrums. Li Wei retreated over 60 meters, using the Purple Heaven Thunder Seal as a shield. The movement aggravated his injuries, causing blood to spill from his mouth. Having rescued the 7 little ones, he could now withdraw. Fu Wenyan was incredulous. He couldn't fathom how Li Wei had stabilized his injuries and regained his peak combat strength. In that moment of distraction, a tall, dark figure erupted from the ground behind him. Whoosh! A woman clad entirely in black, with slender arms and an elegant figure, appeared above Fu Wenyan's head, wielding a longsword. She swung the blade down in a sweeping arc. The sword's light cascaded like a white waterfall connecting heaven and earth. Fu Wenyan froze instantly, his hair standing on end as a chill shot through his skull. Given his cultivation level, he couldn't imagine how anyone could have approached him so silently and undetected. He had believed himself to be the Oriole hunting the mantis. But behind the Oriole lurked a sharp sword. Just as Li Wei had been unable to evade the earlier surprise attack, Fu Wenyan had no chance to dodge this sudden strike. Boom! The spiritual artifact battle sword crashed down upon Fu Wenyan's head. The strike wasn't as straightforward as he'd imagined, splitting his body in 2. Fu Wenyan's 100 wisdom surged forth from his crown, erupting through the waterfall of characters alongside a column of azure cloud mist that soared to the heavens, blocking the fatal sword strike. Whoosh! The characters trembled, and the azure cloud billowed. The black-clad woman retreated 10 yards, landing silently as a weightless leaf. She murmured, "So your fortune lies in the Earth Tome, Earth Book." Though Fu Wenyan survived, he was far from unscathed. Blood streamed from his 7 orifices, a gash split his crown, and his consciousness teetered on the brink of dissolution. The assassin's cultivation was formidable, the characters and azure cloud qi unleashed by the Earth Tome couldn't fully protect him. Fu Wenyan dared not linger. He activated the governor's robe he wore. Ripples of spatial distortion spread outward, gradually coalescing into a swirling vortex of violet mist. Possessing space evasion battle armor doesn't guarantee safety, the black-clad woman's voice rumbled, deep and androgynous. She struck first, unleashing a crescent-shaped sword wave that slashed across Fu Wenyan's abdomen before he could vanish into the spatial rift. Boom! Protected by the governor's robe, he wasn't bisected. Fu Wenyan groaned, his internal organs severely damaged, and his body was flung sideways. Fu Wenyan was exceptionally skilled, his combat experience and tactical acumen unmatched. Otherwise, he wouldn't have survived an encounter with a great power of the immortal realm. Before he even landed, he immediately released 2 pages of the Earth Tome from his ancestral field. One page shielded his body, while the other surged toward the black-clad woman, preventing her from launching a second fatal strike. Each page of the Earth Tome transformed into a radiant ocean of text, coexisting with azure cloud chi, brimming with boundless divine essence and the profound truths of the Great Tao. The Earth Tome was one of the most formidable entities to emerge from Yingzhou in the past 100,000 years, compiled by the sect Saint, Azure Cloud, its mysteries unfathomable. Fu Wenyan had risen above countless martial mystic cultivators, forging a foundation akin to that of the young celestial emperors and cultivating combat prowess far surpassing his peers, all thanks to the 4 pages of the Earth Tome he possessed. The ocean of text and azure cloud chi from the Earth Tome momentarily stalled the black-robed woman. Whoosh! Fu Wenyan activated the governor's robe once more, his body vanishing into a swirling vortex of purple mist as he fled through space. Even losing a page of the Earth Tome was a price worth paying to preserve his life. Survival trumped all else. In the next instant, Fu Wenyan materialized 3 miles away, emerging from the purple mist vortex and barely managing to steady himself. Above him, another vortex of purple mist materialized. Li Wei had yet to fully emerge from the spatial rift, but the myriad manifestation staff spear had already pierced through, its crimson gold tip blazing with scorching flames aimed directly at Fu Wenyan's head. Fu Wenyan dared not engage Li Wei in combat. He sensed the black-robed woman had already retrieved the lost page of the Earth Tome and was rapidly closing and using an escape technique. If Li Wei managed to restrain him for even a few exchanges, Fu Wenyan knew he would surely die here today. Instead of blocking the descending myriad manifestation staff spear, Fu Wenyan channeled all his energy into activating the governor's robe. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5. Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 16 453 Her Highness the Princess. 16th of Volume 5. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. Whoosh. Li Wei's power far exceeded his expectations. The myriad manifestation staff spear pierced through Fu Wenyan's protective layers of inscribed characters and azure clouds, grazing his scalp and leaving a bloody gash that ran from the crown of his head to the back of his skull, deep enough to expose bone. With a swift upward thrust, the staff spear intercepted the floating page of the Earth Book hovering behind Fu Wenyan's back, just before he could escape into the void. The Earth Book had been positioned behind him, not above. Ah! Fu Wenyan roared, his features twisted in a grotesque snarl, utterly devoid of his usual Confucian composure. His voice, echoing from within the purple mist light cluster, seethed, "You may have stolen my Earth Book today, but I'll make you repay it tenfold." With interest. Li Wei landed on the hill, seizing the dislodged page of the Earth Book and suppressing it with all his might. Enveloped in fiery golden armor, blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. He made no attempt to pursue Fu Wenyan. He had sensed an overwhelmingly terrifying aura surging beneath the earth, hurtling at unimaginable speed toward Fu Wenyan's escape route. This escape technique. Even a giant of the immortal realm might struggle to match it. Is this the 4th-tier great technique of evasion? Who is she? Li Wei's eyes darted about in thought. Ignoring his injuries, he turned back to pursue the gray corpse ape. With Fu Wenyan incapacitated by the ambush, he had lost control of the dragon's soul. The gray corpse ape seized the opportunity to break free and flee eastward. Though swift, the gray corpse ape was weakened by the purple heaven thunder seal and the dragon's soul's attack, far from its peak condition. Whoosh! Whoosh! Li Wei activated the governor's official robe 6 times in succession, finally catching up and appearing directly above the creature. He reached into his robe, channeled spiritual chi, and secretly activated the evil camel bell. The gray corpse ape abruptly halted, its bloodshot eyes glaring at Li Wei with murderous intent. 2 gray clouds of spiritual chi materialized on its massive golden palm. Above, the camel bell chimed. The sound waves cascaded downward. Hundreds of strange voices echoed in the gray corpse ape's ears, stirring chaotic thoughts and unease within its mind. Its internal spiritual chi began to surge erratically. Boom! The evil camel bell expanded to the size of a bronze bell, while the nether mist coalesced into a dense cloud that plummeted from above. The bell's resonance attacked the creature's soul's thoughts. Ripples of spatial energy emanated from the bell's mouth, binding the gray corpse ape's body. Boom! Li Wei stood atop the massive evil camel bell as it crashed to the ground, the impact shaking the earth. The gray corpse ape was sealed within. Seal. Li Wei leapt off the bell and channeled twin pillars of spiritual chi with both hands. The bell rapidly shrank, flying back into his palm. Ding ding. Suddenly, the evil camel bell trembled. The bell's chime pierced the air. Li Wei's expression shifted, realizing the gray corpse ape was attacking from within the bell, desperate to escape. He was pondering how to suppress it when a low, agonizing roar echoed from inside the bell. It was so faint he had to press his ear against the bell to hear it. This is the evil camel bell. When it rings, the soul spirits of those outside are severely affected. Imagine what it's doing to the creature trapped inside. Li Wei had no time to check on the gray corpse ape. Activating a divine swiftness talisman, he sped toward the white desert. As for Yang Qingxi's situation back at Old Yuzhou Prefecture City, he could no longer afford to worry about it. Master, are you alright? You're bleeding so much. Yuer is so scared. Yuer finally spoke, her voice trembling with tears. Don't be afraid, Yuer. Master is perfectly fine. I only pretended to cough up blood to deceive them, Li Wei reassured her, not wanting the little girl to live in constant fear and insecurity. Yuer looked surprised, really. This tactic is called feigning weakness to deceive the enemy. Despite the searing pain in his chest, Li Wei forced a confident, relaxed smile. After rushing over 100 miles, Li Wei suddenly stopped. In the distance, atop a dark hill, stood a slender, black-clad figure. She held a sword in one hand and the prefectural governor's official seal in the other, as if she had been waiting there for a long time. Li Wei sensed the killing intent emanating from the figure. Knowing that, given his current state and the woman's speed, escape was impossible, he forced herself to remain calm and transmitted a message using spiritual qi. Your Highness, please grant me a way out. A peculiar glint flashed in the black-clad woman's eyes as she replied telepathically, where is my weakness? Below the immortal realm, women stronger than Fu Wenyan are exceedingly rare. To surpass him while concealing your identity and suppressing your spiritual qi fluctuations. Only Princess Dengfeng could accomplish such a feat. Li Wei continued, even so, it was merely a guess. My earlier question was purely a test. You needn't silence me, I won't reveal your secret. Princess Dengfeng had clearly feigned admiration for Fu Wenyan, pretending ignorance of his true identity. By killing him, she could prevent the Calamity Crossing Temple and Zongsheng sect from suspecting the East Sea Demon clan, while simultaneously framing others to achieve her secondary objective. Evidently, Fu Wenyan's escape skills were formidable. Princess Dengfeng had failed to eliminate him without exposing herself. Otherwise, she would already be wearing the governor's official robe. After all, to kill Li Wei, who was wearing the governor's official robe, it was safest for her to wear the same robe herself. Princess Dengfeng no longer concealed her voice as she advanced toward Li Wei. Hand over that page of the Earth Book and the Grey Corpse Ape, and I'll let you leave. Li Wei retreated step by step. If we each keep a page of the Earth Book, neither of us will reveal the secret. If I give you the Earth Book, you'll surely kill me. You can't allow anyone to hold leverage over you. Princess, if you come any closer, I'll shout. Are you certain there are no other living or dead spirits lurking in the darkness? Princess Dengfeng didn't stop. Do you really think I fear the Calamity Crossing Temple and the Zongsheng sect? The Calamity Crossing Temple and the Zongsheng sect might not venture into the Netherworld to avenge Fu Wenyan, but they'll certainly mobilize for the Earth Book, Li Wei said. If you dare threaten me today, you'll dare even more tomorrow. Rather than endure constant threats, I'll cut the Gordian knot. Shout if you wish. Princess Dengfeng erupted with unparalleled speed, charging forward. Her black figure nearly vanished, moving too fast to be seen. Even faster than her movement technique was the Dao Heart manifestation she unleashed. The Dao Heart manifestation enveloped Li Wei, isolating him from the outside world and preventing him from revealing her secrets. Li Wei's gaze remained fixed on her, his fingers pressing against the cloak behind him. Whoosh! A figure as swift as Princess Dengfeng surged from the darkness behind Li Wei. 7 Zhong before Li Wei, sword clashed against palm. Boom! Lu Yi stood tall, his right hand clad in a green-scaled gauntlet, meeting Princess Dengfeng's thrusting battle sword head-on. He retreated 3 steps, and a long spear flew from his ancestral field. Boom! With a backhand sweep, the spear shattered the air, forcing Princess Dengfeng back as she charged again. Lu Yi stood 3 steps before Li Wei, slamming the spear heavily into the ground, causing the earth to tremble like waves. Your Highness, he declared, without revealing your true identity, you are no match for me. Li Wei's eyes widened in surprise. He hadn't expected the young Lu named merchant from the fallen spirit market to be hiding nearby. Princess Dengfeng was even more astonished. Despite her cultivation level, she hadn't sensed Lu Yi's presence beforehand. His concealment techniques were truly astonishing. She didn't rush to attack again. Who are you? Apart from Tang Wanzhou, there's no expert as strong as you below the immortal realm in the Lingxiao realm. With just this sentence, Li Wei realized Princess Dengfeng had a deep understanding of the Lingxiao realm's affairs. This was alarming. It implied the East Sea Demon clan harbored ambitions toward the Lingxiao realm. Lu Yi replied, Your Highness need not know my identity. If you wish to fight, I'll gladly oblige. But I will save this man today. Do you think you have the authority to speak such words on East Sea territory? Princess Dengfeng countered. Lu Yi retorted, Does your Highness believe I would dare venture into East Sea territory without good reason? The Grey Corpse Ape couldn't even dig up the Phoenix Blood Tree's roots. If your Highness doesn't hurry back to Old Yuzhou Prefecture City, Prince Mingzhou will win the Phoenix Blood Tree competition. Princess Dengfeng stared at Lu Yi for a long moment. I think I finally understand your origins. She retreated 2 steps and vanished into the night. Li Wei, if this princess truly wanted you dead, he couldn't protect you. Consider this my mercy. I'll spare your life as well, Li Wei replied. Lu Yi's taut nerves relaxed slightly as he exhaled a long breath. We need to leave this place immediately. She might change her mind at any moment and send an immortal realm giant to kill you. The two fled hundreds of miles before stopping beside a wide, black river. Li Wei, showing no signs of his severe injuries, sincerely thanked Lu Yi. Thank you, Brother Lu, for your righteous intervention. Lu Yi stood facing the river. Li Wei, divine hidden one of the Zhu Li tribe. 3 years ago, you first appeared in Zhu Li city with only surging spring realm cultivation. During the Xuanhuan festival the following year, you participated in the Hidden Dragon Lantern Festival and helped Zuoqiu Hongding defeat Luansheng Linyu. After that, you disappeared into the underground immortal mansion with Tang Wanzhou for a year. When you reappeared, you had become a formidable expert in the Dao Seed realm. Your cultivation speed is truly astonishing. In the Battle of Lingxiao City, you and the Zhu Li hidden sect played a crucial role. You are a young hero of exceptional courage and responsibility. Despite the destruction of your ancestral field, you have demonstrated extraordinary talent in psychic power. Since our parting at the Fallen Spirit Market, I've been investigating you. You are even more remarkable than I imagined. Li Wei grew wary. Brother Lu, your timely appearance and assistance here seem more than just coincidence. It's not as complicated as you think. Lu Yi gazed into the distance, spotting 2 streaks of light, one ice blue, the other crimson red, streaking through the darkness toward them. You're too badly injured. Find a place to heal quickly. The situation in Yu State is complicated. The Rice Palace's malevolence and Hanshin are closing in. I'll draw them away. If you want to know why I saved you, meet me at the sea market on Moon Dragon Island in the East Sea 3 months from now. If you dare to come. Whoosh. Lu Yi stepped across the wide, black river, his aura vanishing instantly as he merged seamlessly with the darkness, demonstrating extraordinary concealment skills. A smile crept across Li Wei's face. He felt a surge of curiosity about this young man named Lu, and a thrill at the dangers and surprises of the cultivation path, a path that filled him with boundless anticipation for the journey ahead. Turning, he carried Yuer on his back and headed in the opposite direction. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5. Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 17 454 7-Star Spiritual Master. 17th of Volume 5. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. Yuer's first entry into the blood mud space left her disoriented, as if she had fallen from a great height. Her head swam, and her small body spun in circles beside Li Wei, utterly bewildered by what was happening. Master, where are we? She asked, finally steadying herself and gazing around. The ground was crimson, as if soaked in fresh blood. When Li Wei reached the spiritual master realm, the blood mud space had expanded to 1 hectare. Now, after multiple expansions, it had grown vast and immense. This is a secret realm. Li Wei reluctantly explained, loathing to reveal this secret to Yuer. Yu Yaozi's unstable condition posed a significant risk. But there was no other choice. In the nether realm of the dead, danger lurked everywhere, both above and below ground. The blood mud space was their only safe haven. He couldn't abandon Yuer outside alone. Master, what's a secret realm? Yuer asked, her large eyes blinking with curiosity. Special, independent spaces. Li Wei explained, some are constructed from the Transcendent's ancestral fields, while others form when a martial mystic Dao Heavenly Emperor dies, their qi remaining eternally intact. Within these realms, vegetation thrives, allowing the cultivation of precious and essence herbs. The most formidable secret realms are even connected to the ancient immortals. Enduring his injuries, Li Wei recounted the events. He then retrieved a large quantity of food and spring water, placing them on the massive 30-meter-long jade boat. Yuer, for the next while, Master needs to heal. Master needs to enter seclusion. Can you take care of yourself? Yes. Yuer nodded deeply, I'll practice my cultivation diligently. I'll definitely be able to help Master in the future, and we'll defeat the bad guys together. Li Wei chuckled, unsure how to respond. He patted her head, take good care of the 7 little ones for me. He sat cross-legged and used his psychic power to activate the Dao Ancestors Tai Chi fish, weaving an azure time cocoon. As a 5-star spiritual master, activating 1 pale azure fish eye could sustain the time cocoon for 6 days, ensuring a month of uninterrupted cultivation. At the 6-star spiritual master realm, this duration extended to 10 days. Provided there were no external disturbances, he could cultivate in seclusion for 50 days at a time. Based on past experience, Li Wei anticipated that upon reaching the 7-star spiritual master realm, the time cocoon would undergo a transformation, further altering the flow of time within. Li Wei removed his governor's robe and the blood handprint demonic armor. A purplish-black indentation marred his chest. Crack. Clenching his teeth against the searing pain, Li Wei channeled his entire body's spiritual chi to force his fractured and sunken ribs back into place. The stronger one's physical body, the less vulnerable they are to severe injuries, granting greater survivability against ambushes and assassinations. However, once bones or internal organs are damaged, recovery requires extensive time. Even more dangerous injuries, those to the Nine Springs, Qi Si, Wind Mansion, or Ancestral Field, are as difficult to heal as ascending to heaven, and may even be incurable. 5 days later, inside the cocoon. The cracks in Li Wei's internal organs and golden bone had healed to the point where they were no longer visible through internal inspection. Yet he knew that engaging in full-force combat could still reopen these wounds. Prolonged nurturing was required. He released the page of the Earth Tome that had been suppressed within his Wind Mansion. The residual aura of Fu Wenyan on the page had been refined away by the seven-clawed flame heavenly dragon spiritual chi. A wisp of azure cloud chi flowed across the tome's surface. The ancient scriptures radiated a potent great Tao essence, belonging to the writing system of Zongsheng Academy. This was a true scripture. Li Wei first meticulously studied the scriptures, seeking to comprehend the Tao resonance left by the sage who had penned this true scripture. He also focused on the azure cloud chi emanating from the Earth Tome. Next, he sought out scriptures and records related to Zongsheng Academy, meticulously deciphering every word and phrase of the Earth Tome. Zongsheng Academy, established by the sect saint Zongsheng Azure Cloud Qingyan, was one of the most prestigious life realms in southern Yingzhou, renowned as a battleground for 100 schools of thought. The Fu clan, to which Madame Yi and Fu Wenyan belonged, was one of these 100 schools. The Earth Tome likely contained countless pages, but any single page of such a profound true scripture, if leaked, would inevitably draw the attention of countless experts from Zongsheng Academy. No wonder Princess Dengfeng had sought to seize the page and silence all witnesses. After fully deciphering the page, Li Wei discovered it detailed a method for absorbing the primordial essence of the earth. By harnessing this essence, one could refine their internal spiritual chi, strengthening their foundation and achieving combat prowess far surpassing that of martial mystic cultivators at the same cultivation realm. Primordial Essence of the Earth Chapter. Li Wei immediately began practicing, following the methods outlined in the Earth Tome to absorb the primordial essence of the earth from Shaoyang Star. 3 days later, crimson strands of qi surged from the depths of the earth, drilling into Li Wei's 10 springs acupoints and converging ceaselessly toward his divine gate and wind mansion. Simultaneously, a secret energy flooded his blood vessels, causing his blood qi to surge rapidly. As expected of a true scripture compiled by the sect saint. Even initial cultivation imparts an unfathomable sense of mystery. Long-term absorption of the Earth's primordial essence from various life realms will undoubtedly yield even greater rewards. With such a treasure at stake, Fu Wenyan will never give up easily. Li Wei pondered whether Fu Wenyan's master at the Calamity Crossing Temple, or the Fu clan elders, knew the secrets of the Earth Tome. If they did, they would surely come to the Lingxiao realm to reclaim it. Once his injuries had fully healed, Li Wei conjured the true spirit of the Rising Sun Grand Formation in midair. After meticulously arranging the formation, he released the Grey Corpse Ape from the evil camel bell. The moment it emerged, the fully charged purple heaven thunder seal crashed down, striking its skull. Boom! Boom! The Grey Corpse Ape, already delirious and utterly defenseless, was pulverized by Li Wei's relentless attacks, its soul scattered into oblivion. Li Wei unleashed his psychic power to probe the ape's body, discovering an innate world resembling an ancestral field within its core. First, he extracted a Tao fruit brimming with potent corpse energy and preserved it. Within the innate world, he found a treasure box and a segment of a blood phoenix tree. This segment of the blood phoenix tree, enveloped in a dense, wood-scented blood mist, measured 2 meters in diameter and 12 to 13 meters in length. The bark shimmered with iridescent colors, resembling the intricate patterns of a phoenix's feathers. The trunk had been cleanly severed by a sharp weapon, and crimson blood dripped from the cut, instantly vaporizing into a blood mist upon contact with the air. The wood's structure gleamed like interwoven strands of gold. Such a precious tree, grown for countless millennia, yet they simply hacked it down. Li Wei lamented inwardly, though he understood the rationale. When all hope of preservation was lost, destruction was preferable to letting it fall into enemy hands. This was only a fragment, whether from the trunk or a branch remained unclear. Li Wei used the yellow dragon sword to carve off pieces of the iridescent bark. The material was surprisingly soft yet resilient, emitting a woody fragrance that calmed the mind and filled the body with vitality. Even a mere whiff of it revealed its extraordinary nature. If the phoenix blood tree were still alive and intact, its value would likely rival that of Emperor Herb. After collecting several kilograms of bark, Li Wei suddenly paused, recalling the unique soil composition of Shaoyang Star. Could it be revived? He decided to try propagating the tree. In the blood-mud space, he located the most humid area and buried the 12-meter-long trunk 3 meters deep. After a moment's thought, he piled all the immortal soil and spiritual soil he possessed around the base. He also channeled the primal earth essence chi from Shaoyang star to nourish the tree trunk. The treasure box was a storage container with an internal space lined with cold jade, holding 23 millennium essence herb. Among them were 1 3,000-year-old herbs and 3 2,000-year-old herbs, freshly harvested from the spiritual soil medicine field of Old Yu Prefecture City. If the Grey Corpse Ape, with its cultivation level, could obtain such a massive haul, the other Yin Ghost commanders must have their own shares, Li Huayi lamented, inwardly cursing Fu Wenyan for delaying him. Had he not been held back, he could have made a fortune during the attack on Old Yu Prefecture City. Lord Lan's territory spanned 31 prefectures. One could imagine the grand scale of the looting war currently raging across the Nether Realm, with various factions vying to gorge themselves on resources. Now fully healed, Li Huayi couldn't resist the urge to immediately emerge from seclusion and join this world-altering scramble for resources. But he restrained himself. He wasn't currently lacking resources. His immediate priority was to cultivate diligently and attain the kind of power Fu Wenyan possessed, the ability to survive even against immortal realm great powers. Otherwise, even opponents like Princess Dengfeng and Chongji Daozi would overwhelm him. Li Weiyi's gaze fell upon the exposed golden bone of the Grey Corpse Ape, his eyes narrowing. He raised the yellow dragon sword and carefully shaved off layer after layer of the golden bone until the luminous golden marrow within was revealed. The marrow vaporized, transforming into a golden mist. At that moment, a golden crow burst from the Tanggu Sea in the distance, scattering brilliant light across the horizon. Immediately, the golden rosy mist enveloping Li Huayi intensified, becoming blindingly bright, like a swirling mass of golden light particles. Li Huayi retrieved a cold jade bottle and carefully collected the vaporizing marrow. The Grey Corpse Ape's golden essence bone marrow had long been corrupted by corpse energy, death chi, and the Nether Realm's dark, malevolent forces, though it still appeared to glow with golden light. It couldn't be consumed directly and required refinement through ritual purification. As for the shaved-off golden bone fragments, they were also treasures. Li Huayi planned to use them to craft earth sword talismans. 1 month later. Within the time cocoon, Li Huayi had cultivated for over 4 months. He dedicated most of his energy to comprehending more than a dozen true scriptures and classic scriptures, including the Book of Radiant Stars, 9 Heavens Secret Treasury, Earth Tome, and 8 Trigrams Supreme Profound Scripture, as well as refining his physical body. In Li Weiyi's view, cultivating the 12 manifestation Tao Lotus within his divine gate remained paramount, the foundation of his great Tao. No matter how much time it took, he was determined to solidify each step. Next came the cultivation of psychic power and the refinement of his physical body. As for the dragon seed Tao Lotus in his wind mansion, he almost completely neglected it, paying it no mind and allowing it to advance freely. After over 4 months of arduous cultivation, the realm of his 12 manifestation Tao Lotus in the divine gate finally progressed from the early 4th heaven to the peak of the 4th heaven. The strength of his bones, tendons, and skin had increased dramatically, reaching 40% of the immortal body's strength. With his physical power alone, he could now battle martial mystic cultivators in the 8th heaven. What broke through first, even before the 12 manifestation Tao Lotus, was his psychic power. In the spirit realm between Li Weiyi's eyebrows, a 7th psychic power Nianli star had coalesced, officially elevating him to the realm of a 7-star spiritual master. The internal changes were secondary, the external transformations manifested first. The blood mud space expanded significantly, its boundaries now beyond your sight. When Li Huayi activated the Tao Ancestors Tai Chi fish again, the time ratio within the time cocoon indeed changed due to the substantial increase in his psychic power. Previously, the time ratio between the inside and outside was 1:5. Now, it had reached 1:6. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5. Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 18 455 Dawn in the Nether Realm. 18th of Volume 5. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. After breaking through to become a 7-star spiritual master, Li Huayi decided to dedicate more time to the talismans Tao and formations. Specifically, he focused on refining the Earth Sword Talisman and the true spiritual great formation of the Rising Sun. Since he intended to feign specializing in psychic power, he needed to prepare some psychic power attack methods and couldn't rely solely on his martial mystic intense psychic power combination techniques. If he continued this way for too long, it would be strange if the old monsters of the immortal realm didn't become suspicious. Concealing his martial mystic path talent wouldn't completely prevent the older generation experts from hostile forces from targeting him. But without concealment, he would undoubtedly become a prime target. Previously, when deploying the true spirit great formation of the rising sun, he had always hastily inscribed the formation scriptures in the spirit realm, making it difficult to effectively utilize in actual combat. Li Wei traveled to Tanggu Sea and found a massive Zaihe flower, radiating intense heat. Having absorbed the essence of the Fusang divine tree's light and the golden crow flame for thousands of years, it perfectly resonated with the true spirit great formation of the rising sun's properties. Even touching a petal with his current cultivation felt scorching. The flower resembled a golden lotus platform, its radiance as brilliant as the sun, emitting golden rays that stretched tens of thousands of feet. And it truly could reach such heights. Li Wei planned to inscribe the formation scriptures of the true spirit great formation of the rising sun onto the Zaihe flower's petals. During battle, he could stand atop it, using the formation to protect himself while maneuvering through the air, allowing him to both attack and defend. Just like the gods and immortals in Earth's myths and legends, who rode lotus platforms. Another 2 months passed. Using the cocoon of time, Li Wei cultivated for nearly a year. He spent most of his time studying the true classic scriptures. The 12-petal Tao lotus in his divine gate broke through 2 realms, reaching the early stage of the 6th heaven in the Tao seed realm. Finally, he had barely caught up to the cultivation realm of the Wind Mansion Dragon Seed. The Wind Mansion Dragon Seed, having had no time for cultivation, had only advanced from the early stages of the 6th heaven to its peak, remaining stuck just below the 7th heaven. Condensing a Tao fruit was no easy task, it marked a major breakthrough. However, Li Wei had already devised a method for breaking through, using the Tao technique, sixfold samsara burning karma technique. The third layer of the sixfold samsara burning karma technique, karmic fire transformation, once mastered, could harness the momentum of the technique's completion to help a martial mystic cultivator condense their Tao fruit. Over the past year, Li Wei had lacked the time to cultivate the sixfold samsara burning karma technique, leaving it stuck at the minor completion stage of the third layer. To reach major completion, he needed to find a fire source beyond the golden crow flame. Years ago, Shencang had killed many ember spirits to obtain the ember fire within their bodies for cultivating the sixfold samsara burning karma technique. Ember fire was the ultimate treasure for cultivating the sixfold samsara burning karma technique, which is why the first layer was named, Ember Annihilation Finger Technique. When the sages of the Bhagavata sect created this great technique, their primary target for incineration had been the ember spirits themselves. Li Wei had never considered venturing into the Ashen region to hunt ember spirits in order to cultivate the sixfold samsara burning karma technique. For him, this technique wasn't yet of paramount importance. The condensation of the Tao fruit didn't depend solely on this method. Calculating the time, he realized it was nearing his appointment with young man surnamed Lu. Moreover, his supplies of star spiritual pills for cultivating psychic power, and golden essence bone marrow for strengthening his bones had been completely depleted. Li Wei decided to emerge from seclusion and head to the sea market on Moondragon Island. This served both to keep his appointment and to replenish the resources needed for his next phase of cultivation. "Yuer, how have you grown so much taller?" Li Wei asked in astonishment, racking his memory. The last time he had emerged from the cocoon of time, she hadn't grown noticeably, remaining roughly the same size. Yet in just 10 days, she had grown by a full head's height, transforming from a 4 or 5-year-old child into someone resembling a 7 or 8-year-old. Her clothes no longer fit. She was now wearing hastily tailored men's garments made from Li Wei's own clothes, cinched with a gray cloth belt, creating an awkward, mismatched appearance. She replied earnestly, "Master, we've been in this secret realm for a long time. Isn't it normal for me to have grown a bit?" "It is normal, but..." "Fine." Li Wei couldn't explain it to her. Yuer had never interacted with other children and didn't understand that growing up was a gradual process. Li Wei had her sit down, stood behind her, and neatly combed her hair into a bun, securing it with a jade hairpin. "Once we leave the secret realm, Master will buy you some beautiful, well-fitting clothes." "Are we going out?" Yuer's eyes lit up with excitement. "Yes, we're going out to eat delicious food." Li Wei felt a pang of guilt. He knew the little girl must have endured immense loneliness during their secluded cultivation. The months he had spent with her had brought him genuine joy. She always showed unwavering devotion to her master, praising him, caring for him, weeping when he was injured, and stifling her tears to avoid worrying him. No one had ever treated him this way, making him the center of their world, trusting his words implicitly. How could Li Wei ever see her as that formidable grand palace master who shook the world? Li Wei couldn't bear to imagine Yuer one day transforming into a woman he wouldn't recognize, all the cherished memories fading into nothingness. He could only hope she would grow up a little slower. Boom. At the edge of the white desert, a thick layer of sand was blasted through by a palm strike infused with spiritual qi. From within the swirling spiritual qi, Li Wei emerged, clad in simple cloth robes, with Yuer following close behind. "We're out. Finally out. The world outside feels so free and vast." Yuer exclaimed, taking a deep breath before sprinting across the desert, leaving a trail of footprints in her wake. As she grew older, her personality had blossomed into a cheerful and lively spirit, brimming with curiosity and a deep love for all things new and wondrous. Li Wei sensed something was amiss as he surveyed the expansive landscape around them. He tilted his head back to gaze at the radiant sunset hues painting the horizon, his heart pounding with shock as he focused on the sun at its center. The nether realm of the dead. It was dawn. What earth-shattering changes had occurred in the past 3 months? The setting sun illuminated the sky, while the morning sun bathed the land below. Li Wei deduced that it was dawn in Yu State. After a millennium of darkness, Yu State had finally welcomed the light, reintegrating into the living realm. Regretting his absence during this historic moment, Li Wei felt an urgent need to reach a human settlement and gather information about everything that had transpired. He set off along the desert's edge, racing eastward toward the East Sea. Yu State has likely dispelled the darkness and reverted to a living realm through the Twin Rice sect's use of the Book of Radiant Stars. Transforming and rebuilding the death-tainted lands corrupted by the Netherworld is no easy task. With countless Twin Rice sect martial mystic cultivators likely converging on Yu State, we need to leave immediately. The most terrifying aspect of the Nether Realm of the Dead lies in the dark power it harbors. This power can corrupt all normal life forms, undead, vegetation, and even the mountains and rivers, twisting them into grotesque aberrations. Living beings descend into madness, the undead rise again. Rivers turn murky, vegetation becomes malevolent. The earth spews blood-red springs, and the sky rains paper money. To completely transform the nether realm of the dead into a land of life, where flowers bloom, plants flourish, the strange retreats, rivers run clear, and spiritual chi returns to normal, would require an immense amount of time and effort. Yet as Li Wei traveled onward, he discovered Twin Rice sect followers already fervently cultivating rice paddies, planting benevolent rice in the corrupted soil. Are the rice folk grown from this rice truly normal humans? Li Wei knew his cultivation level was insufficient to ponder such profound questions or interfere with the Twin Rice sect's affairs. His only desire was to escape as quickly as possible. In the sky above, Twin Rice sect martial mystic cultivators frequently flew past on their mounts, patrolling the borders of Yu State. Li Wei carried Yuer on his back, draped in his nightwalker's garment. After 2 days of travel, covering thousands of miles, they finally reached the shores of the East Sea. Thanks to the 2 breakthroughs facilitated by the divine pivot, Li Wei's physical body had grown significantly stronger. He could now traverse thousands of miles without any fatigue. His muscles and organs, cultivated with the aid of the 4-colored immortal moss, had reached 80% of the immortal body's strength. His blood qi, nourished by the Earth Book's absorption of the Shaoyang star's primordial essence, had also reached 80% of the immortal body's strength. His tendons and skin, strengthened by the phoenix blood tree bark, had reached 60% of the immortal body's strength. His bones, however, had only reached 50% of the immortal body's strength. The gray corpse ape had been dead for many years, and most of the mysterious energy within its golden bone marrow had dissipated, making it inferior to the marrow of true immortal realm giants. The marrow of recently dead transcendent beings was the true treasure for bone refinement. For example, the bones of the Silver Feather Eagle King, claimed by the Zhuoqiu clan. Or the legendary Azure Phoenix, Purple Phoenix, and Crimson Phoenix, said to have been slain by Zhenhai Guanwu, each drop of their marrow worth a fortune. It remained unclear whether these treasures had fallen into the hands of the imperial court or been claimed by the Snow Sword Tang court. Had Li Wei been able to acquire even a small portion of such marrow, the cultivation progress of his golden bone would have long surpassed that of his muscles and organs. At times like these, Li Wei's unwavering Tao heart, forged through relentless self-improvement, would waver, and he would find himself strongly tempted by the idea of living off his wife's wealth. A slight lowering of his pride could easily secure these top-tier resources. Self-reliance is admirable, but a virtuous wife is even better. But I fear becoming addicted to relying on others, turning into a beggar living off scraps from every household. In the end, who knows what fate awaits me? Splash! The azure sea crashed against the white sand, creating a breathtaking scene that soothed the soul. Li Wei pulled out his map and located Silver Moon Island. The island was marked on the map, situated 1,800 li east of Thunder Prefecture in the Lingxiao realm's eastern territory. From his current location at the border of Old Sand Prefecture and Sea Prefecture, it was approximately 11,000 li away, requiring him to cross the treacherous waters infested by the 3 island barbarians. Li Wei dared not attempt this journey alone. Firstly, the vastness of the sea meant a single misstep could lead to getting lost and dying without a trace. Secondly, accidentally drifting toward the 3 islands would be like throwing himself into a dragon's lair. The dragon sect harbored a deep-seated hatred for him. I'll skirt the coast to Thunder Prefecture and take a ship from the port there. According to the map, Silver Moon Island Sea Market is the largest trading hub between the East Sea Demon clan and the humans of the Lingxiao realm. The demon of Qixia Lake, acting as an intermediary, maintains order there, and both sides respect her authority. Just as Li Wei made this decision, a massive 3-tiered jade white warship drifted into view on the horizon. As if conjured from thin air, the jade warship materialized 3 or 4 miles away in an instant. Li Wei was about to flee into the White Desert when he felt himself locked in place by a powerful intent. A familiar yet unfamiliar voice echoed from the ship. Julie Divine Hidden One, Master has long been aware of your presence. Will you board the ship and atone for your sins? Or do you truly believe you can escape? Li Wei wore a helpless expression as he gazed at the jade warship on the sea. Standing at the ship's prow was Ku Di, a young nun clad in white monastic robes, her eyes gleaming with icy resolve. The voice he had heard earlier was a transmission of spiritual qi, clearly intended to avoid alerting more powerful twin rice sect cultivators. Ku Di, the leader of the Four Truths of Coffin Mountain, was a disciple of Anshanjing. Li Wei had crossed paths with her during the Hidden Dragon Lantern Festival. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel.